12 steps says, half measures avail us nothing. I'm Mark Anthony Lord, and today I want to talk about this idea in relationship to our spiritual path. In the Western world, spirituality gets a slice of a person's life pie, if you will. I know that was my experience as a kid. We went to church on Sundays. We had a little dabble in, Bible class or something in the middle of the week. And at some point, my family was involved in the church choir, so that gave us a little more activity. But as a spirit, as a way of being spiritual, it was like not 10%, maybe 10% of our lives. And that was true for everybody. That was true for everybody, at least that I knew. And as an adult, that's absolutely true. In fact, I would say for most people, 10% is probably a lot. So many people don't bother going to any kind of a spiritual community anymore. Not required, not obligated. Awesome. We don't want to participate from that vibration, of course. People enjoy positivity books and heal your mind kind of things and law of attraction. That's part of the spiritual path on the fringes. But so many people that I know in my 20 plus years of being a minister and a spiritual teacher say things like, I can't hear God and prayer doesn't really work and I can't meditate. And it's sort of like it's very childish, to be blunt, but it's really what they know and what they're experiencing. They're speaking their truth. But what's underneath that is, I don't want to give more time and energy to this. And part of the reason, I think, is cultural, for sure. We live in a world right now where is the religious extreme. There are the fundamentalists that are so unkind and use God and use Jesus as a weapon and as a protection against others and as a way to make them in and make other people out. That's ugly. That's straight up ugly. I don't want anything to do with that. And there's a world of us who are truly, if we gave it half a chance, deeply spiritual. And the benefits of putting your attention upon that more consistently and more intentionally would be exponential. I always use this analogy. If I went to the gym a month ago and we're hanging out today, I'm like, I don't get it. I went to the gym last month and I haven't changed. I look the exact same. Like that, gyms don't work. Working out doesn't work. You'd be like, are you crazy, dude? What do you mean? You went one time and you don't understand why you don't have any results? That's kind of a good analogy for a lot of people's spirituality. Years ago, I spent time in India. I disliked much of it and I loved much of it. And what remained with me was the culture that I saw that was there, because people had altars in their homes. They told stories about, a seat at the table for whoever their divine was. And what was cool about India is it wasn't like here where it's like, you choose Jesus or you're out. In India, it was like, who was the divine in your heart, whatever you want to name it, a goddess, a god, an angel, a guru. It didn't matter to anybody else. It mattered if it mattered to you. And the culture encouraged you to build a personal relationship with your divine and to dedicate portions of your day, large portions of your day, to this relationship. Why? Because they knew if that relationship was lined up and if that relationship was working, then everything else fell into place. And if there was a part of your life that wasn't in place, your relationship with the divine gave you the faith and the strength and the courage to move through whatever was in your life at that point. Here, I see in the Western world, people will throw God out, they'll throw prayer out, they'll throw forgiveness out, they'll throw any spiritual practice out immediately when they bump up against something that they can't figure out or handle. Here in the Western world, the intellect is the ruler. The people who appear in the physical world to have great success, those are the ones in the Western world that appear to have it together. Well, the world is changing big time. It really is. And there is a call back to our spirits. Your spiritual nature is who you are. It is what you are. And it will not let you stray forever far away, dabbling in it, when it is sitting in the center of you going, I can help. I can help. I can help you see this differently. I can help you attract the resources that you need. I can really help you let go right now. I can help you know in the midst of a storm that all is well. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. But you can't have a Sunday relationship with this phenomenal divine power inside of you. You have to cultivate the relationship consistently. So when you need it, boom, it's there. I was 24 years old when I entered 12-step recovery. And I had a sponsor who told me the only way that he would sponsor me was if I called him every single day for 90 days. Now, this is back when there was no texting. It was like call. And I hated that idea. Like I was good at hiding. I was good at pretending. But this guy said, look, I won't even pick up the phone. Just leave a message. You can call and say, it's Mark, I'm checking in, goodbye. That was all I had to do. It was hard. It was hard, but I did it. I did it because I needed help. I really needed help. And unfortunately, in our culture, that's when we typically turn to our spirituality. It's like, well, I've tried everything of this world. Now I'll pray. Do you hear how upside down that is? That is so not the way our spiritual self works. So I completed this 90 days of calling my sponsor, and I got the gift. The gift was the connection was established. The connection was established because I called so many times and I said nothing but, it's Mark, I'm calling, I'm checking in, hello, goodbye. And then there came a day after the 90 days when I needed him, when I was feeling weak, when I did get myself into a situation where I was in trouble. I picked up the phone. I called him, and he was there, and I was able to ask for help when I genuinely needed it. Again, why? Because I participated in the activation of the connection. This is the spirituality that is required today. This is the way we are being guided, I am certain, in this chaotic, warring, aggressive world. Those of us who are feeling called to a deeper spiritual awakening, it's no longer the Sunday game. It's no longer the once in a while, oh yeah, I forgot to meditate this morning. Oh yeah, I forgot to connect this afternoon. Oh yeah, I forgot to end my day taking some time, a minute or two, to connect with my divine. Now, I'm guilty of all the things I'm pointing to right now, by the way, over my lifetime. It took me years to build a consistent muscle. And I'll be honest, I'm grateful. I'm a minister and a spiritual teacher because that's what kept my feet to the fire, was my job. Cool, that's what I needed. What I know is that when I take the time, I mean a minimal amount of time, 15 to 30 minutes in my day, add it up, either in all the beginning, to spread it out. When I take the time before I walk into the grocery store to send a blessing ball, to say, bless everyone who is in there and make my journey in the grocery store be positive and loving. Let me be a light as I do this. When I take the time to pray before I have a conversation with someone, and especially an important conversation, when I take the time to say, clear out the agenda, Pray away what I think this conversation is for, and let it be for the glory of love. When I take the time to surrender myself, my identification with my body, with my thoughts, with my beliefs, with my feelings, oh, my feelings. When I take the time to disidentify with those things and remember what I am, which is the Christ light, the divine self, an extension of God's love, always sourced, always sustained, and always able to receive and hear in my perfect way divine guidance. I got there through practice, through practice, through practice, through practice. How does a concert pianist become a concert pianist? Practice, 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 practice. How does someone win a gold medal in the Olympics? 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. Now, your spiritual life is not requiring that kind of dedication. Your spiritual life to become a spiritual Olympian starts at 30 minutes a day, broken up how you want to do it. Your spiritual Olympian life starts with the decision and the intention to say, I'm done dabbling, because half measures dabbling avails me nothing. All I'm doing is being more aggravated. You know what's worse than being completely ignorant to your divinity and all the love and the source and the care that actually is here for you? The only thing worse than that is being half aware and using it once in a while. A strong muscle of faith is required right now. It's required for the world. It's required for you to be who you're here to be. It's required because when you build that divine connection, you will prosper. You will be healthier. You will make choices that are better for you. You will feel within you a self-love and a power and boundaries that are so good for you and therefore so good for everyone. You could make spirituality a piece of your pie and make sure that your relationships are good and your travel is good and your money is good and your health is good and your adventures are good, all those things, one at a time, you managing it all. Or you could say, you know what? I'm going to make the spirituality the crust of the pie. I'm going to make the spirituality the filling of the pie. And then I'm going to let all of those other pieces take care of themselves. And they will. Not only will they take care of themselves, they will be better than you could have ever intended. You could make a vision board on every slice of your life, and it would not bring you to what a focus upon your spirituality alone would. That's the truth. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, the conscious connection to the divine. The kingdom of heaven, the awareness that you are the divine being and the expression and extension of God's love. The kingdom of heaven is the knowing, as I said earlier, you're not your body, you're not your thoughts, you're not your beliefs, you're not these emotions. You are the magnificent life in back of all of it. Seek ye first that, and all these things shall be added. All these things will be naturally drawn to you. Do you want the easy path? Or do you want to keep thinking you're in charge of life? You've got to make everything happen. You've got to figure it all out. Do you want to keep being a control freak? Do you want to keep living in high anxiety and watching your stress and blood pressure go up and down and up and down and up and down? Do you want to keep looking at the world out there that is so angry and so scary and so violent and go, oh, this is horrible, this is horrible, this is horrible, what can I do? Or do you want to do what you can do, which is develop a living relationship with your divine, redefine God in a way that releases you from all the overlays and constructs of childhood that are limited and lies, and establish a living, loving, empowered, enriched relationship that brings you to the greatest revelation, which is I am. The I am that sits in the center of God's power, which is your power. The I am that aligns you with God's will, which is only good and is your will. The I am power that gives you the ability to have a desire and a want that is good and loving, and manifest it and draw to yourself all you need. The I am presence and power, that when you find yourself sick at times, you have the ability to know the greatest healer is in you, and it does its work. This is all yours. This is all yours for the taking, for the expression, for the having, for the joy. You've got to make this a bigger commitment than once in a while. And this is what I help people do. This is what I help people do. So if you're turned on by this, if you're looking, but how? Who do I hang out with? I don't have a church in my neighborhood. I've heard all of it. I'm here. Hang out with me. Hang out with me and the people who hang out with me, and you will have a wonderful time. You will have all that you need at your fingertips when you need it. But you got to build the relationship. You have to decide for it, and you have to create it. You've got to extend yourself consistently. It will come back to you overflowing, overflowing. I guarantee you. Okay, that's my lecture and passion for today. Please take a moment, leave your thoughts. I want to know what you think. Cool? Peace and love.